starting off with Brooklyn Beckham. As you guys know, the Beckham family, they are rocky right now. All because Brooklyn's ex, someone actually not even like an ex, it's just someone he used to be romantically involved with.
David Beckham and Victoria Beckham have how many of these kids? I feel
they
like Romeo,
kids.
David.
Yep, so it goes Brooklyn's
the oldest.
Brooklyn, Romeo, Cruz, and then the daughter, Harper.
Okay, so I think that's important because I see so many Beckhams and I don't know which one's which. So
well, I know them all. You know, Spice Girls fan.
I hope people out there appreciated me saying that. Okay, Brooklyn is the oldest. Now
So Brooklyn, the oldest son, he was once romantically involved with this chick, Kim Turnbull.
Okay.
Well, turns out Kim and him ended things.
Right.
She starts dating the middle brother, Romeo, and Brooklyn is like telling his family, like, okay, she's just trying to get with any Beckham. At this point, she's taking advantage of you, Romeo. Romeo basically says, I don't care what you have to say. Cool, thanks for your thoughts. I'm staying with her.
Brooklyn Beckham flew to London for his dad's 50th birthday and still chose not to see him. You are about to hear how an ex, a brother, and a very loyal wife turned the oldest Beckham son from golden child into family problem, while he believes he is the only one actually protecting the name. If your sibling dated someone you once hooked up with, would you accept it or cut distance? Comment accept or distance and tell me why. That intro turns Brooklyn's whole life into a quick hook. For everyone else, it is just family drama. For him, it is another reminder that his private mess is public entertainment. He watched his parents' issues play out in tabloids and his own relationships turned into headlines. So when the same girl he once brought home walks in on his brother's arm, it is not just awkward. It feels like being replaced in his own house. He warns them because he has seen how people orbit the Beckham name, not the person. Romeo brushing him off is more than a sibling disagreement. It is the moment Brooklyn realizes his word means less than a girl he does not trust. Being swapped out in a relationship hurts. Being swapped out inside your own family cuts deeper.
Not weird enough, because if we were told they weren't technically like boyfriend and girlfriend, they had some kind of involvement.
Oh, you mean Brooklyn and
Kim
Turnbull.
Right.
Got it. Okay.
So all we know is that David and Victoria, they've been siding with Romeo on this. They're like, look, we like the girl. If he wants to be with her, that's his choice. But Brooklyn and his wife, Nicola Peltz, they are totally like, we will not be in the same room as her. They've missed out of like big milestone events. Like David Beckham had a huge 50 birthday party in London. Brooklyn and Nicola flew out to London for the big party, but they told Victoria and David, well, we want to see you guys, but we want to see you guys before the party. We don't want to be around Romeo and Kim. And then David and Victoria were like, if you want to see us, you can come to the party. They ended up not seeing them. So it's bad.
So Brooklyn is the one with his panties in a bunch here because his little brother is dating somebody he used to have sex with. But he
thinks this girl is like bamboozling the family.
Well, who cares?
I know. Look, I get
that much you're gonna break up your family over a girl who's not breaking up your family?
And from Brooklyn's side, he still buys the ticket and gets on the flight. That alone shows he wants to show up for his dad's birthday. His line is simple: I will not share a room with someone I think is using us. It is a harsh boundary, but it is a boundary, not silence. For his parents, one rule applies to everyone. If you want to see us, you come to the party. They choose fairness to all their kids. He experiences it as them choosing comfort with a girlfriend over discomfort from their son. When he refuses to go, the narrative flips. Overnight, he is the dramatic one with his panties in a bunch. Once people label you oversensitive, every attempt to protect yourself looks like a tantrum. The hurt that led to the decision disappears behind the joke. Have you ever skipped a family event because you felt disrespected, then been blamed for ruining it? Tell your story in the comments. I want to see how many of you have stood exactly where Brooklyn is standing right now.
Remember there was issues in the past with like Nicola and Victoria at their wedding. There's been some drama surrounding this couple. But so the new thing is that Brooklyn Beckham's ex, Lexi Wood, she's from like Summer House reality star. They dated back in like 2019. So she was on Nick Viall's podcast and she was asked about all the drama. Like, look, you know, we're told, we broke the story that Nicola feels like Victoria doesn't and David don't like her because the way they talk to Brooklyn, she doesn't like that. And she will pop off on them and like speak her mind. Whereas like any other woman would be kind of scared to say anything.
Well,
to speak up.
It's a family dispute. I don't need to be involved in this. I'm here.
Right. But she speaks her mind and she is very protective of her husband.
This is where Brooklyn fades and Nicola becomes the villain of the story. Suddenly, she is the loud wife who pops off on his parents, the one who creates the tension. But from his perspective, she is the first person who repeats his fears out out loud to the people he feels ignore him. Her protectiveness reads as disrespect to everyone else. To him, it is proof that someone is finally willing to stand up to the Beckham machine and not flinch. The more the media call her dramatic, the more defending her feels like defending his own choice. Then an ex appears, calm and polished, praising his parents and calling them so cool. For viewers, that sounds objective. For Brooklyn, it is someone who barely touched his world, now speaking as if she knows the core of his family. It quietly reinforces the idea that if even his ex loved them, he and Nicola must be the problem.
So Lexi Wood, Brooklyn's ex, was on the Nick Viall podcast, and he was asked about like all the family drama. What was it like with Victoria and David? And she said like she only hung out with them like, every now and then, and like here and there, but that they were so cool. And she said Victoria's a style icon. Yeah. And it sounded like she was kind of like defending them.
Absolutely. Do you remember when David was in line for when the Queen died?
Oh yeah, he waited in line like every other person
you would ever imagine. Like, this is a billionaire, and he just sat there and he was talking, he was taking pictures, it was real nice.
This was to pay your respects to the Queen when she passed away. She had like a casket or something. Commoners would wait in like hours long.
I think it was 8 hours.
Long line.
Hours long, yeah.
And he waited in line like everyone else didn't want to cut.
And I know Victoria Beckham is like Posh Spice and all that stuff, and she's probably insufferable too. But like David seems super normal, and I think she over the years has had to have some sort of normalcy as well, because Spice Girls has like been done for 30 years. So
notice how David is described. Patient, humble, billionaire who waits 8 hours in line like everyone else. That is not just a good story. It is a standard that his children can never really meet. Brooklyn is not allowed to stumble in his 20s. Every misstep becomes an insult to the perfect, polite image his parents built over decades. When he says no to a party, he is no longer a son with feelings. He is the ungrateful child of a national hero. Nicola sees that public polish and calls it fake. For David and Victoria, that polish is survival. For Brooklyn and Nicola, keeping it real means showing the cracks on social media. Two different survival strategies collide. To his parents, he is feeding chaos. To his wife, he is finally telling the truth.
Well, that's another thing. People around Nicola told us that she doesn't like how like showy David and Tosh are. Like they come out and they're
showy.
Like they're very like robotic and like going through the emotions, love the spotlight. And Nicola feels like her and Beckham, they just keep it real.
This feels like Brooklyn Beckham is. And which ones play soccer? None of them do, right? The little ones?
No, Cruz sings. He sings.
Or maybe Romeo was.
No, I think it was Romeo.
One of them played soccer. I don't know. So what is Brooklyn Beckham's claim to fame other than being David's son?
He's kind of cooking, and he's race car driving.
Okay, so you two are only notable because you're David's son and daughter-in-law, and now we're feuding with you because at one point your slam piece is now hooking up with Romeo. By the way, we've done this story for 5-6 minutes, and we have mentioned 3 Brooklyn Beckham exes in such current piece. How many people did he date?
Oh, a lot. He's Brooklyn Beckham.
Okay, who is Brooklyn Beckham?
Who is
David Beckham's son?
But by the way,
I've never understood, man. I will say though that the clicks on these stories, people care more about this story than I think.
It's insane. It's insane.
And I have no idea who any of these people are outside of David and Posh.
I love that you call her Posh.
I don't.
That's so cute. By the way, we reached out to people around Nicola and Brooklyn after Lexi defended the family, the parents, and we're told on the other side that Lexi never even met David and Victoria.
Oh, so she's
just talking to talk.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I would do this.
It's weird.
Who is Brooklyn Beckham is not a real question. It is a way of saying nothing he does counts. If he stays quiet, he's a spoiled Nepo baby doing nothing. If he tries cooking, photography, racing, he is playing pretend. There is no version where he wins on merit. So he leans into what he can control, being a husband, being the oldest son, being the one who says no when he thinks the family is being played. If he cannot earn respect through a clean career narrative, he will demand it through loyalty and boundaries. Then that final detail slips out. The ex defending his parents never even met them. It should change the story, but it does not. The damage is already done. His wife is messy, his parents are saints, he is the problem. That is what losing control of your narrative actually looks like. You do not have to agree with Brooklyn to see the trap he is in. Oldest son of a global power couple, married to a woman the press loves to blame, watching his brother date someone he does not trust, while strangers decide who is right. Every move he makes is graded against the fantasy of a perfect Beckham family. Maybe he is stubborn. Maybe he's overreacting. Maybe he's hurting people who care about him. All of that can be true. It can also be true that he is tired of his pain being turned into content and his loyalty being framed as immaturity. What looks like petty drama over an ex might actually be a son trying, and failing, to draw a line around what family should mean when the whole world is watching.